Some engines don't just fail, they self-destruct. In this video, I'm breaking down 10 of the worst engines Chevy ever made. Engines with blown gaskets, collapsed lifters, timing chains that snap early. We're talking real-world failures, not just spec sheet nonsense. And the one at the top, it's a small turbocharged engine that turns your daily driver into a financial disaster. Starting at number 10, we've got the 3.1-litre V6 3100 series. The 3.1-litre V6 was used in everything: Impala, Malibu, Grand Am, but it became infamous for intake manifold gasket failure. Coolant would leak into the oil, destroying bearings and eating the engine from the inside. You'd see white sludge on your oil cap, overheating, and eventually total failure. On top of that, sensors went bad constantly, oil pan gaskets leaked, and misfires were common. Chevy used this engine for over a decade, even after the problems were obvious. You could replace the gaskets, but you'd probably be doing it again in 30,000 miles. At number 9, 2.4-litre Ecotec. This was Chevy's attempt at a modern, fuel-efficient 4-cylinder. Instead, it turned into a high-maintenance oil-burning nightmare. Timing chain tensioners would fail early. You'd get timing chain rattle on startup, then full-on slack, and eventually, boom, valves into pistons. The piston rings? Garbage. They'd wear out fast and burn oil like crazy. Add in PCV failures, stretched chains, and random idle surges, and you had a commuter car engine that needed an engine rebuild at 80,000 miles. And Chevy just kept dropping this into Malibus, Equinoxes, and HHRs like nothing was wrong. It wasn't uncommon to burn a quart of oil every 1,000 miles, even when new. Coming in at number 8, we have the 1.5-litre turbo Ecotec. Chevy downsized with the 1.5-litre turbo to boost fuel economy, but what they delivered was a fragile, underbuilt mess. Turbo failures, PCV valve failures, blown head gaskets, and engine knock are all common under 100,000 miles. Owners report random overheating, oil leaks, and stalling on the highway. And the worst part? There's still no long-term fix. Many of these problems still show up in newer models. It's a modern engine built like a disposable part. Drive it hard and you'll be shopping for a replacement before 80,000. At number 7, 5.3-litre V8 AFM models 2007 to 2013. The 5.3 should have been a home run, but Chevy slapped on active fuel management AFM and it wrecked everything. The lifters would collapse, cam lobes would wear down, oil would burn fast, then vanish, and what started as a clean-running V8 turned into a misfiring, ticking, gutless mess. Some engines failed before 100,000 miles, others limped along, running on 6 or 7 cylinders for months. Worst part? Chevy knew, but they never recalled it. They just told owners to check the oil more often. And fixing it? You're tearing down half the engine and spending $3,000 to $5,000 easy. If you didn't delete AFM, this engine deleted itself. At number 6, we have the 2.7-litre turbo inline 4. Chevy's 2.7-litre turbo 4-cylinder was marketed as a V8 replacement in half-ton trucks. In reality, it's an overworked, underbuilt engine that struggles with durability. Owners report high oil consumption, stretched timing chains, valve train clatter, and rough idle, even under 60,000 miles. Turbo lag is brutal, especially when towing, and GM's fix? Software updates and monitoring. This thing gets shoved into full-size Silverados and Colorados like it's ready for heavy use, but ask anyone who's towed with it or crossed 80,000 miles. It's not. If you want a long-lasting truck engine, this ain't it. At number 5, 3.4-litre V6 3400 series. If the 3.1 was bad, the 3.4 was worse. It had the same gasket issues, but Chevy shoved it into heavier vans and SUVs, Venture, Montana, Aztec, so it failed even faster. Coolant in the oil, overheating, and engine sludge were guaranteed before 100,000. And like its third point, one cousin, the fix only lasted a few years. You'd spend $1,200 to replace the gaskets, and the new ones would fail by 140,000. These engines ran hot, rattled cold, and left thousands of owners stranded with dead minivans and a repair bill bigger than the car's value. Coming in at number 4 is the 3.6-litre V6. The 3.6-litre V6 looks solid on paper, 300 plus horsepower, direct injection, and decent MPG. But what you get is an engine that's way too complex for its own good. Timing chains stretch early, cam phasers go bad, oil passages clog up. Want to replace the water pump? You're removing half the engine. And when that check engine light starts flashing, it's probably for camshaft position timing, which means big labor bills. Modern V6, sure, but reliability? Not even close. At number 3, we've got the 6.2-litre V8 L94 AFM equipped. You expect a premium engine in a $70,000 Escalade. Instead, owners got AFM ticking, camshaft damage, and random oil starvation. This 6.2-litre L94 looked great on paper, 400 plus horsepower, smooth power band, clean idle, but it was hiding a defect that led to collapsed lifters, oil pressure loss, and total failure well before 100,000 miles. Owners paid luxury prices and got an engine that couldn't even survive its first timing chain. Even deleting AFM didn't always save it. Once the damage started, the engine was toast. At number 2, we've got the 1.8-litre Ecotec. If you bought a base model Cruise, Sonic, or Spark, chances are you got stuck with the 1.8-litre Ecotec. And if you've owned one long enough, you've probably dealt with oil loss, valve cover leaks, misfires, or all three. This thing is underpowered and barely holds itself together after 80,000 miles. Timing belt intervals are tight, gaskets start leaking early, and even the emission system can't keep up. It's not as catastrophic as some others, but it's death by 1,000 small expensive cuts. And finally, at number 1, 1.4-litre Turbo Ecotec 2011 to 2019. Used in the Chevy Cruise, Sonic, and Trax, this engine looked good on paper. But in reality, a ticking time bomb, water pump failures, overheating, cracked pistons, blown turbos, and massive oil leaks around the valve cover and PCV system. The Cruise became one of the least reliable compact cars of the decade, largely because of this engine. Ask anyone who owned one, they either got rid of it or paid for a new engine by 70,000 miles. It was Chevy's attempt to go modern, and they botched it.